Welcome back to the D Biggest Sports Pod. I'm your host, Drew. My other host, right over there.
What's up? It's D. Good to see you again. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Drop some comments below. Let us know your thoughts.
Yeah, if you are, we're talking Eagles Commanders. So if you're listening from the Hard Rock Cafe, I'm sorry, Commanders fans. It's been a rough one. Uh, there was a group of Commanders fans yesterday occupying the Hard Rock Cafe in Philly, saying we took over Philly tonight, and you know it was not a good exit from the stadium for those people. But what stood out to you most in this blowout win for Philly over the Commanders?
I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles just have so much talent from top to bottom. I don't know if you've seen late in that game when they did the offseason acquisitions and draft picks and what they've done. And it was like Saquon Barkley ran for over 2,000 yards, is going to in MVP talks, all this stuff. Vic Fangio is nominated for coordinator of the year. Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell both got finalists for defensive rookie of the year. So like they've just
Zach Bond, All
yeah,
Pro,
they've just
Oren
continued to
Burks.
add to this team that was already stacked with just talent from top to bottom. Like Jalen Hurts, Devontae Smith, AJ Brown, God, the whole offensive line is stacked. Like they showed today why they should be a force to be reckoned with. And I mean, they just straight up were like, you know what? We hear you, Commanders. We understand that you are going to be good in the future, but we are today the best team in the NFC, and we're going to just stomp you out. And they did. They put it on them from start to finish. It was crazy.
Yeah, and Jalen was great today. Jalen, he was on point. Saquon obviously was great. AJ Brown made some plays, and like outside of the Chiefs, this might be the Eagles might have the best front office in the league because to find out Oren Burks was a guy who played in SF last year, and he was one of the reasons that they were so bad. Like he was terrible. He couldn't cover a pass to save his life. And he is out here looking like where does this guy come? Test this man because he is out here making crazy plays. Zach Bond, a guy who was a special teamer, is now like the best linebacker in the league apparently because he's out here making a bunch of plays every game. Like he is out there, he's a difference maker. And then you got the defensive line is ridiculous. Like everywhere you go, it should have been pretty obvious to us that this Commanders roster wouldn't hold up against this Eagles roster. But I will say for the Commanders, this wasn't on Jayden Daniels. Like 3 fumbles. Are you kidding me? Like a team that the reason they've been progressing is because they're winning the turnover battle every week, and now they're just giving the game away to Philly, which I don't know if they're going to stop that offense of the Eagles today, but they really gave the game away by having 3 fumbles.
Yeah, for a team that their best attribute was the fact that they did take such good care of the ball and they didn't make dumb mistakes, that really backfired. I mean, they just looked like a young, dumb team. They looked like inexperienced. The lights were too bright, and it looked like it was their first time getting to this point, which it was. I mean, it was just a complete regression when the world needed them most. But yeah, I mean, I don't think that you look at Jayden Daniels any different. I think that you still look at him like, this is a guy. And realistically, they're going to be good for years to come. I'm sure this offseason, we're going to see people want to come play for the Commanders. And that is something that you wouldn't say, 3, 4, 5 years ago, that teams want to come to Washington and are excited to see what they could do moving forward.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to when like Ayuk was trying to get over here. Like imagine this team with Terry McLaurin and Brandon Ayuk on the other side. Jayden
Nasty.
Daniels would have been picking apart defenses even more than what he was. So I'm just thinking you got to get another guy. I know Diami Brown, he turned up in the playoffs. He actually looked good, but there's got to be someone with a higher ceiling out there that you could bring in because just keep on adding talent to the roster to help Jayden Daniels take the next step. We can't, oh well, maybe this third round receiver will pop. Maybe this, like, no, let's go out there and let's get weapons. Let's load it up. Kind of how they try to do with CJ Stroud. We got Tank Dell, we got Nico Collins, we're gonna get Stephon Diggs, we're gonna get Joe Mixon. And the thing is, they have a lot of older guys on this roster who were kind of like, I don't want to say bridge guys, but they were like, oh, let's just, take this guy for a year, a nice veteran, and he'll be solid enough for now. They have a lot of decisions to make this offseason of how we're going to round out this roster, how we're going to get younger, and how we're going to stay competitive while being younger. So I doubt, like, Bobby, I wasn't saying this years ago, but I doubt Bobby Wagner is going to look as good as he looked this year for a full season next year. I mean, maybe he does, but that's a big spot to fill. Lattimore was, I mean, he was solid this season, but he gives up a lot of penalties. He's over here, getting in fights with receivers. You might need to swap that guy out. So, yes, it looks really good for the Commanders with Jayden Daniels, but they have to make a lot of right decisions to keep this thing going.
Yeah, but this is the time to do it. I mean, you can spend a little bit of extra money filling out the roster right now because you have Jayden Daniels on that rookie contract, which is like gold for these NFL teams. And so, yeah, I don't think that. I think the more important thing is Cliff Kingsbury going to stay? Because if Kingsbury stays another year, perfect. Now you can kind of go all in. You know that the jump from the offseason from year 1 to year 2 is so crucial for these quarterbacks and their development. If you can keep that continuity with Cliff Kingsbury going forward, that's perfect. That is ideal. But I have a feeling that someone is going to come knocking, and then what do you do? Then who do you fill in that gap with? It's going to be interesting because you are so late in this process.
You think he's the candidate for the Saints?
I would say, yeah. I mean, any opening that is left right now, I would say, yeah. Again, I think the Bills should come knocking.
Bills are not going to do that.
Bro,
especially
I think that McDermott. I think you should go ahead and move off of this. Hey, you've taken us to this point, but I could see them being like, yo, we just need something, because how many times can we keep hitting our head against the same rock? But that's just me. Yeah, I think the Saints should go for him or Spagnuolo, either one of those guys.
Did you see Meek Mill's tweets after the game?
No.
Where he was saying, he's like, well, during the game, he's like, if the Eagles win, I'll go to City Hall and perform Dreams and Nightmares. And everyone's like, okay. And then they won, and he's like, if someone takes speakers out there, I'll go perform Dreams and Nightmares. And they were like, what? You're rich, bro. You bring the speakers. Like,
oh my God.
I like how even Philly fans were kind of like, it's a little played out. It's
yeah,
a little,
chill out, dude.
Also, since when did Too Short become the anthem for Philly? Isn't he Bay Area music?
Bay Area, yeah. So
why is
we take that one back.
We need that. We need Too Short.
But dude, can we talk about how awesome Philadelphia looked today? They had so many bro. Jalen Hurts just all of a sudden he comes out in fucking warm-ups with a brace. As soon as he steps on the field for his first drive, the brace is off and now he can walk. He what's the Grandpa Joe'd it? Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. I could go to the chocolate factory with you. It was awesome, man. Where was this Jalen Hurts the entire playoff? I understand that he kind of wasn't needed to ask to do these things, but man, he looked awesome. And then just Saquon Barkley, it just looks so silly that Saquon Barkley went to this team and had this amount of success in year 1 when the Giants were like, no one's going to pay him. We're going to see him go downhill from here. They look so stupid.
Yeah, for Jalen Hurts, he looked really good. And honestly, if it was another one of those games where just Saquon carried and Jalen Hurts didn't look good, I would not be remotely excited for the Super Bowl because I'd be like, well, Jalen's not going to be able to compete. But him going in looking like this, I think he needed that confidence boost, especially with AJ Brown. And, a couple years ago, Jalen Hurts kind of outdueled Mahomes. So could we see a repeat performance? Could we see a great quarterback battle? And for the Saquon, I keep seeing them repost the John Mara, Joe Shane clip. He's like,
Yeah.
well, Saquon goes Philly, I'm be sick. And someone was like, oh, how many times are you going to keep posting this? And everyone's like, I hope they do it every fucking day. Like,
Yeah.
because the Giants have to be the dumbest franchise in the world to be like, oh, yeah, Saquon's our best player. Let's just let him walk away and go to Philly and win a Super Bowl. That is like the worst. This is almost worse than trading for Deshaun Watson. Like, because you got nothing.
Yeah, I think this is worse. I think realistically, you tested the market. He called your bluff. You were like, go out there, test the market. But hey, if you test, let us know what they tell you and we will match. If I'm Saquon, again, I would be like so disrespected. I'd be like, bro, I held it down for this franchise for years. I was your best player for years, and you're gonna do me like this? Fuck you guys. So I'm glad that he is having this success. I don't know if you heard it. Tom Brady was like, this that was a giant mistake. Oh god.
I'm not gonna lie. Tom Brady was trending today, and people were shitting on him. I thought Tom Brady was great today. I like Tom
Honestly, the
Brady
last
today.
2 weeks, I think that playoff Brady has been great. I mean, he has just a lot of insight into the game, especially when it comes to like the nuts and bolts of it and what it takes to kind of get over the like playoff mindset and get into that championship mode. Like I thought he was really insightful. I liked him. I've really enjoyed him throughout this playoffs run.
It feels like now that the games matter, like he's more locked in, and he's just like not overthinking it, and he's just reacting, and that's what's making him better. And part of me thinks like, is it because the head coach search is over for the Raiders? Like now he can just freely. He doesn't have the thing in the back of his mind of like, well, maybe I can't say this about this guy. He's just letting it fly.
No, I think it is because like that this is kind of his mode. This is his thing. Like he loves the playoffs. He know you know what I mean? And he has more in his playoff lifetime than most people have in like one season of football. Like he has that amount of knowledge to him to where he can just pull up like recall. Oh yeah, when I was in this, like here's what as a young guy, here's what you're experiencing. And we're seeing that from Jayden Daniels' side, it's this, and this. And it's like, damn, like it's so insightful, like how he sees the game and how he sees specifically winning football and how he can relay that in the playoffs.
Yeah, and I thought all the commentators were good today. Like even Tony
Tony was
Romo.
good. Tony was so good.
Tony was good. Where he's like, why you keep running it to the left side, Josh? Like they clearly have you figured out. There was times where Tony Romo was calling out bullshit from the Bills, where I was like, is someone gonna get Tony Romo a job in the coaching room? Like, would you ever consider Tony Romo as a coach? Because he's calling it up here.
Yeah, especially on like I liked when he did on the 2-point conversion when he knew that they were going to do the QB sneak. He was like, if I'm the Chiefs right here, you just blow it up. Anticipate the snap count, and if you get it wrong, oh well. Oh, it was a 4th down. Oh well, it's not going to be a first down, and they're going to move what, half a yard? Oh well, do it. I was like, damn, Tony.
What about the Eagles Commanders game where they kept jumping off sides and they almost got rewarded? The refs threatened to give the Eagles a touchdown. That was a weird sequence of events.
It was a very weird sequence of events. I mean, Frankie Louvu did what Tony Romo was saying to do, but just before Tony Romo said it. And do you think they're going to ban the tush push?
I want the tush push gone, but not because like teams are really good at it, but it's such a defeating football play, and it's like not fun to watch. It's nearly impossible to defend. It takes away from like I think strategically the game, and I'm just not for like listen, if a guy can push a pile by driving his legs, I'm fine. But I'm not for 3 guys pushing that guy from behind to get the first down.
Yeah. I just don't know if it gets banned this year. I think that we're going to see it for at least a few more years. I think it is going to take an injury for someone that's not running it successfully, someone that's not Jalen Hurts. I mean, because Jalen Hurts is just so strong. Like, I just don't see. I think it's going to end up being like Josh Allen, like someone who doesn't have the leverage, who's too big, who gets knocked as like someone just anticipates the snap and just cracks him. I think something like that is going to happen, and they're going to be like, all right, you know what? We ruined it for everybody. And it's not even necessarily going to be Philly. It's going to be someone doing the tush push poorly that is going to ruin it for everybody.
That or like a center is like snapped in half under the pile or something. Like that.
I
You
didn't
gotta
mean to
admit,
laugh.
it's like
I didn't mean to laugh.
you gotta admit it's like one of the most dangerous plays because it's just a dog pile of giant human beings. And Jason Kelsey got all the credit because he was that strong and that great leverage. But I don't know. It doesn't feel like good football to me. And maybe that's a bad take, but
no, but we are seeing that both of the fucking Philadelphia Eagles centers are hurt. Both of them. That was like a big thing. Like, oh, this guy's gritting it out.
Such a moment in a football game where it's like 4th and 1, 4th and 2. What is he gonna cook up? And like the defense is gonna, make this crazy stand. And now it's just literally like they don't even huddle. Everyone's like, yep, go tush push, and we move on. We're on to the next thing. And it's, I don't know. I want to see the strategy come into play. If there was a way where like, oh well, the defensive coaches found out if you fall and then you jump up, like there was some way to beat it. But there's really not a way. It's my guy versus your guys, but you guys have the advantage.
Yeah, I just don't know, like, what, like, other than banning it altogether, and I just don't see it getting banned.
I think you ban the formation. You ban the formation of like 2 guys behind you and then pushing forward, 3 guys pushing forward the quarterback. Like, I think you ban the formation.
I just don't know. I will have to see because I just don't. It's working. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, well then stop it. Like, I get it. It's not appealing. I just think that what I have a problem with it is spamming it. I think maybe you get one. Everyone gets one. You get one tush push a game.
It's like what is it, like a 4-point play on like Ice Cube's league? You just like shoot from a certain.
Nope, I'm good.
Man, this guy don't know ball.
The only 3-on-3 league I know is unrivaled.
Let's go. The Phantoms, or what are they called?
Yeah,
Phantoms, right?
Yeah.
We
Milwaukee
watch
Phantoms.
women's basketball. We watch women's basketball. All right. Anything else in this game?
Oh, I'm just so pumped. I mean, realistically, if there was any team from the NFC, at first when the playoffs started, I would have said I would have loved Detroit to go take on these Chiefs. Thinking about it now, and obviously the way it's played out, Philadelphia has just shown that their coaching is better. They have just so much talent. It's just they play an exciting brand of football. They have storylines. Saquon Barkley just getting in and having like a fresh set of eyes where you just want to root for this guy. I hate Philadelphia. I hate the Eagles. I love Saquon Barkley. He makes it so hard for me. Like, I could hate Jalen Hurts easy. I could hate all the receivers easy. I cannot get myself to be like, I hate Saquon Barkley. I love this guy. I want him to win so badly. And he just goes out there on the field and proves it. I am so excited for them to take on this Chiefs team. I'm ready. It's a pretty good Super Bowl matchup.
Yeah, I would say normally I would want neither of these teams to win. I would hate both of them. But I got to admit, like, Mahomes, I think he's earned it right now. Like, the 3-peat, I'm all for it. As much as I'm, like, annoyed by Taylor Swift and, like, all this stuff, the extra, storylines going around the refs and all that, Chiefs team is really good. And Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback in the league. I wouldn't mind seeing a 3-peat. And on the other end, I mean, I was a Jalen Hurts fan coming out of college. Got a little weird there with the is he really that good of a quarterback? But been to 2 Super Bowls now. I think he's a guy that I'm a fan of. Saquon, in a team that it's like easy to hate, with the Eagles, with their coach and the fan base, Saquon makes me really excited for this Eagles team. And I think he's brought a different mindset. He's brought a different culture there. And I don't know who I'm going to pull for between the Chiefs and the Eagles, but I kind of am like, I wouldn't be upset at either one. And I see a lot of like Niners fans and other fans like pissed that these two teams are winning. And it's like, guys, relax. We've been out of it for so long in this season. Just enjoy some good football and like congratulate the team who won because they earned it at the end of the day. These are probably the two best teams in the league.
100%. Yeah, I mean, I forgot 49ers played football. I was ready for baseball season.
There's a lot of trade Brock Purdy for Josh Allen discourse going on right now.
That ain't gonna. What the fuck? Whatever.
I said Brock Purdy, Nick Bosa, and like 3 first-round picks for Josh Allen.
They're not giving. They're still hanging up the phone. That's stupid.
They always gotta make it about the 49ers.
Yeah, they're dumb. Anyways, I'm really excited. Yeah, I'm really excited for the Super Bowl. If you are too, hit that like button and subscribe because we're going to be covering it as we kind of go down the stretch.
See you.
Later.